Here we are, Aramingo Avenue, Aramingo and Westmoreland to be more precise. Somebody in the comments asked, do they have any newsstands still in the city? And the answer is yes. This guy goes on vacation. It takes February and half of March off. That's all. No big deal. Don't forget, every dog walk you see is brought to you by Poop Bags. We're going for a walk. Yeah, I know it's the same neighborhood. I did a tour in walk-in recently. What I'm doing today is I'm mapping out my tour. And I will be doing a tour. I think it's going to be near the end of March. Near the end of March. And the tour is going to probably start here at this parking lot. Yeah, the last vlog I made in the old neighborhood, Rick the Puppy, they were putting barnacles in the cars if you parked in the wrong store. At this store with this sign, you can only go here. But if you park here and go into the thrift store down at the end, they'll barnacle your car, cuz. And you know what? I'm looking at it. It doesn't say what the name of the tow company is, right? Doesn't say what the name of the tow company is. One of the viewers in the comments, now I don't know how if they're a lawyer or not, but they said barnacles are illegal in Philadelphia. I don't know if that's true, but so yeah, so what they'll do is they'll have a person and they sit in the parking lot and they follow you into, like, they make sure you go into the right store. Otherwise they barnacle your car. And if you're the landlord, right? If you're the landlord of this property, why would you approve that? Like, let's piss off everybody so they don't return to shop. Right, Rick the Puppy? That's Hall of Shame. There's a guy I watch on YouTube. He's like a Detroit reporter. And he has this thing called the Hall of Shame. And he yells at scam artists. And I swear to God, that's a Hall of Shame. That's a whole episode. Alright, so we'll go. There's a dog this way, Rick the Puppy. See, if we go this way, we can see the old cars. Just mapping out the tour. Yeah, and they usually have cars out, so we're going to go this way. Go that way. I think I could do this tour. I think I could do this tour of Port Richmond in my sleep, Rick the Puppy. Like, I don't even think I need to map it out. Now what we need to do is we need to find a bar that will let us have a party afterwards where we could do the, we'll be back right after this message just from Poop Bags. This is inside the old... Come here, Rick. Yeah, don't go in there, Rick. That's the old casket company. That's pretty neat looking. I don't think the casket company... Well, I don't believe in ghosts, so I don't think anything's haunted. But I was thinking earlier, in a vlog I made earlier, like, oh, I wouldn't want to live there. It could be haunted. And I know my belief side. I don't believe in ghosts, but for some reason. But then you think about it. Why would the place where they make the coffins be haunted? It's what happens inside, unless somebody died in the coffin factory. All right, so we could just go down Allegheny Avenue, and we could play... Back in 1980, it was this. Talk about the nationalities of the neighborhood. Maybe feature some food. All right, the Port Richmond tour's on. It's official. That's it. See, it'll be a little bit of this, like part of the tour. And this might actually be on the tour. So, spoiler alerts. That across the street, you see there's a dog. A little... hot dog baked into the wall. That used to be a pet store. That was Stefan's pet store. And if you ever saw the movie Rocky V, Rick the Puppy, all of the pets from Rocky 5 were from Stefan's pet store, and you would go to Stefan's pet store, and you would get, you know, for Halloween, every Halloween, they would just give everybody a goldfish. You would just get a free goldfish. You would come home with a goldfish in a bag, which would make, I wonder how good their goldfish bowls sales were the next day. I'm sure they sold a few. And so you would get a goldfish from Stefan's, a slice of pizza from Tony's. Be a good time on Halloween. But when you would go in there, they would have a picture with the owner and Sylvester Stallone. They were right inside there. You all right, Rick the Puppy? Somebody asked me to do a video on the farmers markets in Philadelphia, and I was like, I don't really know any. Well, there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's a few of these, like produce stands. Rick, don't piss on the produce stand. So you got a produce stand, and in the wintertime they sell Christmas trees. And if you want to get a dozen roses, last week, or Valentine's week, it was $19.99. This week, $9.99. Can't beat it, gotta buy it, Rick the Puppy. Hashtag pot. So our tour will not be going in this direction. The tour will be going on the opposite way. And I'm thinking the weekend, the final weekend in March, when the Phillies are playing the Nationals, that's when we'll do the tour. This is Dr. Rowe's office. This is my doctor who performed surgery on me. A lot of kids had their tonsils taken out by Dr. Rowe. He took out of my ear when I was like in the second grade. I put a popcorn kernel in my ear, and I let it sit in there for a few months before I told my mom and dad, because I figured they'd be pissed off at me. So I didn't tell them, because kids are stupid, you know. And I let it sit in my head for so long that the popcorn kernel actually popped a little bit, and it had to be surgically removed from my ear at Northeastern Hospital. Because of that, Rick the Puppy, I don't hear too good out of my one ear. There's the beauty. That's the fabulous beauty salon. Maybe I'll get the glamorous hair. I'll get the mullet trimmed up at the I don't think the Fabulous Salon's still open now. Right here is Northeastern Hospital. It's no longer Northeastern Hospital. It's called Commonwealth Campus. It's a Temple Health building. So I think there are all those doctors inside that building, or most of them, are affiliated with Temple University. It's a pretty interesting looking building. Rick the Puppy is getting so many compliments on his appearance because we just did a dog bath. Come on, Rick the Puppy. God damn, this thing. Oh, they filmed a TV show at Northeastern Hospital. Felicia Rashad, right? What's her name? Claire Huxtable. She was part of that TV show. I never saw it. I don't even know. Maybe they just shot a pilot. And that's something they do with like these old hospitals. They just keep them vacant and they rent them out for, well, not necessarily in Philadelphia. Yeah, this thing. This was just a big ass parking lot. You know what? That's for frozen food, Rick the Puppy. That's for Amazon. That's for Jeff Bezos. Just got another compliment. God. All right, we're getting ready to cross the other side of the tracks. Oh, I haven't played the Kensington song in so long. This song was made by a guy named Joe Rodriguez. And he has a YouTube channel. I hope to remember to tag it at the bottom. It's hard to remember because it's like Joe Rodriguez and a bunch of numbers. So I apologize that I don't mention you as much as I mentioned Scoopski. And you're like the OG song made for the channel. Let's hit it. Alright, here we are. Oh man, I don't know, Rick the Puppy. Just noticing this new, well, it's new to me. I don't know how new this graffiti is on that wall. How the hell do they do that? I guess they hang off the side. The one that says Gus, like how do you, I don't know how you do that, but opening up. I know I played the Kensington song. I think this is still technically Port Richmond. Here it is. Sign of the past, Rick the Puppy. The old payphone. It's nice out today. It's about 51 degrees. Come here. Come here. I don't want you to walk past people with dogs. People either compliment Rick the Puppy on how he looks, or they're terrified of Rick the Puppy because he's a killer pit bull. And yes, I'm watching where he is walking. You know, very careful where he steps. I try to avoid the streets with syringes and stuff like that. Come here, Rick. I love coming down this neighborhood, like this section, in like August. Everybody has like not everybody, a few people have pools out front of their house. Uh-oh, Rick the Puppy. I've never seen this. We found this property to be vacant or abandoned. Huh. Man, that's scary. Here's an old street with the bricks. That's scary with these row homes going up. Here's a vacant lot. 2 vacant lots, Rick the Puppy. And they're, well, I don't know if they're vacant, but in some time in the future, I would say within the next 5 years, there'll probably be 2 houses here. The neighborhood of Fishtown used to have a bunch of vacant lots. Fishtown is a neighborhood about, I don't know, like a mile south of here, or whatever it is. There's a helicopter flying. And there was all these vacant lots in Fishtown back, oh, in the 90s. You would just cut through these alleyways or these vacant lots to get the place. Oh, come on, Rick the Puppy. There we go, there we go. We did good. That went good. You ever see the tow trucks with these things? Reminds me of the video game Spy Hunter. They give me such... Whenever I have somebody driving next to me with those big spikes, I just let them... I pull over. I pull over. It's terrifying. Hey, here's Front Street Gym. Rocky Balboa. He He taught Apollo Creed's kid how to fight right up there. Also, I think Eddie Alvarez trained here. Pride of Kensington. There at the Front Street Gym. Right through these windows, Rocky Balboa popped his head. Beer distributor down on the first floor. Right here's the old. You okay? It's the old firehouse on Clearfield Street. And we're coming up to Frankfort and Clearfield. So this would be a good place to maybe actually play the song. Made by Joseph Rodriguez. Check out the molding to this old building. Used to be a bar called Chuckles. They used to have a payphone. My junior prom, my limo driver went into this bar and bought me beer. Right up there, that's Mastbaum High School. That caged-in area is their schoolyard. That would give me... Maybe you get used to it after a while, but that just seems terrifying to have your schoolyard up. Just had an awkward exchange. Well, not really an awkward exchange. There was a guy who was just talking, like he's standing like 10 feet behind me. He was doing baby talk to Rick the puppy. And I just don't know what to do when that happens. Like I don't play along. I don't even give him the chuckle or the hi. I'm just like, here's some more vacant lots. Yeah, it was just tough, Rick. That sign with the crown says Frankfort and Allegheny, says the King's Highway, and that's talking about this street here. And that was the name of Frankfort Ave. Back in the day, George Washington, when he became the President of the United States, I think he left Virginia, came to Philadelphia for a bit, then hopped on this horse, and he went down this street all the way to New York to become the President of the United States. William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania, he rode a horse on this street. Matter of fact, if you take Frankfort Ave, 4 or 5 miles in that direction, you'll cross over the Holmesburg Bridge. I think that's what it's called. And that is the oldest bridge in the United States. And that was made because when William Penn had to hop on his horse and come down to Frankfort Ave, it sucked because then you got the Pennypack Creek. He had to get his feet wet. So he built the bridge. History right here. Oh, it was a big supermarket. Damn, I never noticed how big that place is. That's a nice mural. P.S. Supermarket, Rick the puppy. He took a piss on that pole while I said that. Right down here, you go down this direction, you'll see the childhood home of yours truly. Another sad payphone. We're gonna go back to the car. It's just to stretch the legs before I go into a Flyers game with the Let's Go guy and Thor. Very, very excited. Back in last summer, the mayor did this thing where she cleaned up the neighborhood. Well, not really cleaning up per se, but all the abandoned houses, all the windows got boarded up. Maybe not all of them, but Rick the puppy sees a cat. This is probably an eviction. I used to work for a self-storage place, and what landlords would do, instead of having the mess out front of their property, they would load it up into a truck that some storage places give you for free. And then they would fill that truck up with the contents and then put that stuff in a storage locker and get the first month for free and never pay anything. Little do they know that the storage companies, they go, those things go in your credit report. They also, you know what they do sometimes, these scumbag landlords? They'll have like a guy help them on their truck, and they'll have the truck driver fill out the paperwork at the storage place. I used to work at a storage place. Horrible business. It's a whole scam. What they want you to do is they want you to get lazy. And what they do is they up the rent every few months. Maybe once a year, sometimes twice a year. And they just hope you're lazy, that you don't move this stuff. And just so you know, whatever you have in storage, it's not worth it, cuz. It's not worth it. Unless you're like in between apartments for a few months, it's not worth it. Some more vacant. Man, there's a lot of vacant lots right here. Yeah, if you go in this direction, about 6 blocks, that's Kensington Ave. You see they have new construction going up, this gentrified construction. Somebody carved eagles into the wall, and they also wrote Berry Sabbath in the font of Black Sabbath. Okay. Yeah, back in the 90s, the majority of the alleyways were opened. They started fencing them up in the 90s, but the majority of the alleyways were open in the neighborhood. There's some more vacant. I never really noticed how many vacant lots there are. And we're coming up to Cambria Street. Now, when I was growing up in the early to mid 90s, around this spot, I was a pit bull from a junkyard. And back when I was growing up, this area was like this whole strip. There was a lot of drug dealing. There was a speakeasy bar. Oh my God, I forgot all about the speakeasy bar. And it was out of a house back here. And they had the best deal. You would get a 4-pack of Old E for $5. And if you would go to a regular store, it'd be $4 or whatever. Oh, I think the speakeasy was knocked down, cuz. Rest in peace. Yeah, I think it was right here. Uh-oh. We'll be right back after this. So that's what Rick the puppy fixed at the speakeasy. Come on, we'll go down here, Rick the puppy. Come on, stop being a dickhead. Go down William Street. Yeah, they're gentrifying up this area. So this is like Port Fishington. It's that weird space where Fishtown, Kensington, Port Richmond meet. And there's more vacant lots. And they're just building on these vacant lots. Yeah. Oh, here's another eviction, or could be spring cleaning. Check out this lot. I like the graffiti. Yeah, I don't see anything for sale. I do see things for rent. They are building new properties around here. I think the cheapest I've seen one of the new properties go for is like $300,000. A house for sale, but I don't know. I don't know if I would buy it. And if you came in this space in the 90s, there was a railroad trestle. And it would go from here all the way down to Lehigh Ave. And there are still some railroad tracks that way. All these properties, they're new. Cramco. Yeah, I just saw somebody I went to high school with who I haven't seen in 31 years. It's a park. I think this is actually a dog park, Rick the Puppy. This is, oh no, maybe not a dog park because it has real grass. There's a dog park. There's a few dog parks in the city, and they all have artificial turf. It always freaks me out because, like, you know, piss. This is so weird. New basketball court. Got a nice basketball court. Is there a little bit of a skate park here? No. 2 basketball courts. We got some picnic tables. And I gotta get back into my chess. My chess, I've been so busy YouTubing with the weather being nice that I haven't given my passion, my love of chess, I haven't given it proper attention. Yeah, I never really noticed how many vacant lots there are west of Aramingo Avenue. Good gravy. If you grew up in this neighborhood in the early 1900s, I think it was these 2 blocks. They were referred to as Jewtown. Look. That's what it was called. I didn't name it. And it was just, that's what they called this little neighborhood. Settled with Jewish people. And so this one little portion of Port Richmond was called Jewtown. And there's no real signs. And matter of fact, nobody even calls it Jewtown anymore. You have to be like an 80s Port Richmond person. I think you would be the last generation to call it. But if you look at this building, they have the Hebrew writing. And that's how you know that this used to be a synagogue. It's now a church. Flemish Bond. This is one way to get people to not sit on your steps, is to destroy the steps. Here's a corner church. I think this looks like it used to be a funeral home. You can see up there in the corner, there used to be a sign. Looks like it's a church. Hello, neighbors. They're praying for us, says the pixelated picture. Merry Christmas. Happy Easter. All in one shot. Here's another house for sale. We're in the 2200 of Cambria. The exact address is 2268 Cambria. It's this new front. Just know that's what's behind. See that red brick? That's what's behind that stucco, that new stucco that looks nicer than the old stucco. All right, so we're at Cambria in Memphis. Got these nice porch homes. Oh, I don't know. I guess they would have a small backyard here in Port Richmond. I had a friend who lived on the other side of Aramingo Avenue, and she had a pretty small yard. And if you have central air in a small yard, your small yard gets even smaller because that takes up about a quarter of the yard. Oh, here it is, the old payphones. Oh, a rare open alleyway here near Aramingo Avenue. Can't really get far though, especially in the summertime. Ernie's Pizza, right? This used to be Ernie's Pizza. It's now a water ice stand. Across the street is Aramingo's Best Pizza. And then across the street is the Aramingo Mini Mart. Right there is a giant laundromat. Back in the 80s, that was a small grocery store. Here's a for rent sign. A lot of property going for rent, not for sale. Right here is Cahock's Playground, which is under some renovations. Oh my God, it looks fantastic. Looks like this is going to be the new basketball court for Cahock's. Man, the playground. Let's go around the other side, Rick the puppy. I spent the majority of my childhood, this is the playground I would go to. I'm glad this fence made the renovation. We call this playground, it's peaceful and quiet here in Port Richmond. We call it Cahock's, which is short for Cahocksink, which is Native American for Polish neighborhood. I feel the need to say that's not true. That was a joke. Sometimes I joke. Here it is. The old Cahock's pool, which is closed. I don't know, maybe that's going to be getting renovated in the future, but that's been closed for a few years. I know since COVID, the city of Philadelphia was having a problem hiring enough lifeguards. Right here. Oh, Rick the puppy. There it is, the old Cahock's pool. No smoking, no rough play, no food or drink or foul language, no ball play. We still had fun. No cut-off shorts. You know who used to go swimming in this pool? The big dude, Stevie Richards. Big time. Big time. He was swimming laps at Cahock's pool back when he was on WCW, just getting some laps in. With the people, too. He not like Ted DiBiase, not like the $1 Million Man. He didn't pay for the pool to get vacated. And then I walked up to him. Hey, Stevie Richards. How's the show going? And I didn't know he was on WCW. I was very loyal to ECW. He was like, the show's good. Haven't you been watching it? And I was like, oh, no, Steve. Yeah, we had a brief conversation. And I asked him if Vince McMahon owned ECW. And he was like, no. He was actually very nice. I've met him a few times. Blue Meanie was nice the few times I met him, too. Before he knew who I was, he was nice to me. Look at this seesaw, cuz. This is like the carnival. Look at that thing. Big Stevie Cool. He's going to be doing some pull-ups on that soon. I love his podcast. Anybody watch wrestling podcasts? What's your favorite wrestling podcast? I like Kevin Nash. They got the new benches. They got Kevin Nash, Undertaker. I like Stevie Richards, where he breaks down what goes wrong. Meanie, Mind of Meanie. You like that one? That's a good one. What other one? Oh, look at this. The old neighborhood is changing, Rick the puppy. Have new fencing on the baseball cages. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, they're putting it up. Oh, no, my childhood, Rick the puppy. It's gone. This is a historic field. This is where my coach, Tom Herb, the late, great Tom Herb, he let me pitch 2 innings of baseball right here on this field. I saw 6 batters. Got 6 outs. There you go. 5 strikeouts and 1 ground out. And the ground out was to me. So I don't know. I think the Phillies should sign me. 48-year-old rookie. Got to start right here at Port Richmond. Oh, wow. The old neighborhood is changing, Rick the puppy. This is it. This is my old stickball field. No longer exists. This is Birch Street. You go down about 5 blocks, that street caved in. This is my old grade school. Right here, it's my old stickball field. And a few years ago, they expanded the original building to this building. And now the stickball field no longer exists. You can see what remains of home plate of the old schoolyard. Oh, here's another alley. Oh, this alleyway is fenced in, Rick the puppy. And who gets the key? Everybody on this block will have a key to the alleyway. And you would use the alleyway to maybe throw out your trash. I don't know, maybe if you go fishing and you got a cooler full of fish, you don't want to bring that through your house, so you go through the alleyway. And like I said, in the 90s, they started locking them up. It was pretty great when you were young. It was a great shortcut to get around places. We would play games. There was a game we played called Freedom. It was kind of like a manhunt game. And it would be like 4 teams of 4 people. And you would chase each other around. And you would lock them up in jail. And that's how Freedom. That was a fun game. Man, I would like to... maybe I like to play Freedom. I don't know. There we go. Come on, Rick the puppy. Oh, I know what these are. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. This, I believe this is the wall to the basketball court that's inside this pail. And the pail was the best because they had 8-foot rims inside here. And they had those padded walls were there. Is because everybody tried to slam dunk and they would jump right into the wall. I hope they released at least change the padding. Oh, here's a house for sale. 3121 Miller Street. Man. $250,000. What do you say? Let me know in the comments. Boy, I'll tell you right now. The parking on this block and that block, it's pretty horrible because you have houses on both sides, but only half of the block can be parked on. It's so bad, people actually have to park on the pavement right there. There it is. This is my old church, Nativity BVM. That's where I was an altar boy. This will be part of the tour. We're going to be coming down Allegheny Ave, probably down to Richmond Street. And, you know, it's not going to be a Ben Franklin history tour. Although Ben Franklin did probably travel on Richmond Street, which is one of the streets in the tour. All right, here's a house for sale. 2525 Madison Avenue. Right across the street to the new properties being built. This is a pole for when you had a horse, you would tie your horse up here, and that way your horse won't go anywhere. One of the questions I get all the time is, where do you get the best pretzel in the city? And I like this spot, the Pretzel Factory. Check it out. It's a good spot. Right here is Shoppers World. Used to be an Acme. I worked here. Used to be a Pathmark. I didn't work there when it was Pathmark. I worked there when it was Acme. This old... No, Rick the Puppy, we're not going into the Shoppers World. This old aluminum shelf, or whatever, ledge. When I was a kid, we would balance ourselves on this little ledge. That was fun. My mom would go shopping here. I remember being in the first grade and going grocery shopping inside that store. Come on, Rick the Puppy, let's run for it. Well, listen, I appreciate you watching this video. If you can, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Spring training is coming up. I also, I have a Patreon. You get early previews, lots of early previews. I got bonus videos. And check out my merch at Hog Island Press and Cameo. Rick the Puppy does them too. Bye-bye.